Hey guys, back here one way. This is kind of part 2 on addiction. I'm probably going to need a part 3 because the wheels get turning, on this topic. Maybe a part 4 and 5. This is quite a topic. So the practical stuff. That's the deal here. When we have a bad pattern, we need to not just ditch it and wall it off somehow, but we need to replace it. That's the big deal. So it's learning what to do instead. All right? All these ideas. You can break a bad habit in 30 days. And I mean, there's so many numbers. It's like, which one is it? So maybe there's truth to that. Maybe it takes it, but I mean, it varies from person to person. Maybe it takes 30 days, but maybe for me, it's 33 days that the new pattern starts to develop. How long does it take to develop a new pattern, right? And all these things. Okay, well, regardless, you need a new pattern. That's the big deal. So what does that mean? You need to schedule your life in a way that excludes whatever you did that was addictive and includes a bunch of stuff you might be doing already, but a bunch of stuff that you haven't done yet, or you used to do, or things that would really help you, right? A good example for people addicted to substances of any nature, or things that even elicit a lot of that dopamine rush or endorphins, that kind of thing, is to get into exercising, okay? That's if you can. So I'm going to talk about things that you might have health problems where you can't do much of that. And people don't seem to consider that. Anyway, so if your health is good, then things like running, walking, hiking, maybe you can just even walk in your house sometimes if it's raining. I've done that. Just kind of walk back and forth, pace, put on some music, some earbuds, then maybe if there's other people there, whatever you can afford too, that becomes a thing, right? So that's something. So again, listening now to something, listening to sermons, music, things that bring you up. The effects of exercise can be tremendous. So hopefully our health's good enough when we're starting new patterns to do some form of exercise. It might just be doing the dishes. Maybe you didn't like to do them a lot, because your arms work, but your legs aren't good right now. So whatever you can do, believe it or not, yeah, that is exercise, right? Doing the dishes takes some physical work, especially if there's bigger piles in your house. Probably not the most uplifting thing to do. So maybe you could take a walk in nature. Nature is huge, right? We get out, it's cathartic. Maybe you live in the city. Maybe you live in a corrupted, polluted area. So maybe you can walk around and be fascinated with the architecture. Maybe you could take pictures, get into photography. Find new things, old things you used to do to start filling your time up. And map this out. Most of us need structure when we're breaking into a new pattern, breaking off an old pattern. We need to map out our day. What am I going to do this hour? What am I going to do with the next hour? So reading is always healthy. You can read the Bible. I really believe in memory verses. That's both biblical and spiritual area, but it's also practical. So spend some time memorizing. Hopefully you have your eyesight, right? If not, maybe you have your ears. You can listen to verses and memorize those. I'm thinking worst case scenarios. Hopefully, probably the majority of us, hopefully, can do some things like this. And hopefully this starts stimulating other ideas. Talk to people, pray to God, get wisdom on practical items that will be conducive to help you set up a new pattern of life. Earlier I said on my video, you need a team. So ask them, ask other people, what's working for you? It doesn't have to be the same addiction or same bondage you're in. What's working for them might work for you. It's worth it. Develop a list of tools. That's another thing. Make lists. Some people say, don't be a list person. I'm a list person. I think that's okay. If it doesn't work for you, then don't do it. Along the lines of writing, journal. Along the lines of journaling, plan. So that's a big one. That old expression that was quoted from Benjamin Franklin that I guess if you research, not for sure him, word for word, but the principle's there. Fail to plan, plan to fail. Okay, so we need to plan, right? We need to plan ahead for when I hit that time. Let's say you're addicted to gossip. I need to plan ahead for when that guy at my work is going to talk smack about the next guy. What am I going to say to him? Okay? And when that doesn't work, I need a contingency plan. Same kind of thing with drinking or drugs. I'm going to call my accountability partner. I'm going to call my support system when I'm starting to get tempted. And then I get off the phone and I'm doubly tempted, and this compulsion is just thriving in me. So that's a big deal. Set up plans, set up contingency plans, have Bible verses ready for that kind of thing, and think along these lines. You need to have a lot of replacement plans, a schedule, and that kind of thing. And on our website, if you get into that, we have those tracking sheets. You can do tracking and planning, and they're conducive. You're welcome to use those. I did for years, and they helped. So that's kind of on the practical side. I could go on, but you get the idea. So hopefully that assists you. Thanks for listening to Addiction and as far as the practical on One Way.